Resident Evil 9 Requiem isn't just a new chapter, it's a bridge to a past we thought was buried. From the Raccoon City Orphanage in 1990 to the rogue actions of Chris Redfield's Hound Wolf squad, the pieces are finally fitting together. But the biggest question remains, who is Grace, and why is she the chosen one? The answer involves a legacy of clones, a corrupt BSAA, and the return of a legendary reporter, Alyssa Ashcroft, from Resident Evil Outbreak. Are you wondering the same things I did after finishing Resident Evil 9 Requiem? Like, is Zeno really Wesker's clone? Where is Chris Redfield? Is it possible that Spencer could be that good? What happened to Chloe after being captured by Umbrella employees? Is Grace also actually a clone? Let's discuss these theories in The World of Trivia, which covers various interesting trivia in this universe. Enjoy.
The Children of Wesker and Human Evolution.
Well, to answer those questions, we have to go back to the 1960s, when Project W, also known as Project Wesker, was underway. Ozwell E. Spencer kidnapped high IQ children to realize his vision of reforming the world with viruses and eugenics to establish a new world order consisting only of the best. What we didn't know was that Wesker's children were being groomed as perfect candidates for Spencer's own vessels of immortality. In other words, Spencer sought to become God, controlling the minds and will of humans. This led to the creation of the various viruses we know. This parallels the Spencer Research 1 file discovered by Grace. Spencer's own mind and will were to be transferred to one of Wesker's most perfect children, Albert Wesker. However, until his death, Spencer had not yet found the right method to realize his dream. This parallels the Spencer Research 2 file. It turns out that all of this was successfully implemented by Alex Wesker in Resident Evil Revelation 2. Even Victor Gideon was unaware of this, which is why he continued his own research.
Are you saying I was manufactured?
I was to become a god.
Grace and Chloe's relationship.
It's no coincidence, right? The hair and skin color of Emily, who has been confirmed to be Grace's clone, are the same as Chloe's, the little girl we played in flashbacks at the Raccoon City Orphanage in 1990. Spencer was only pretending to be nice by showing baby Grace to the camera to improve his public image. What if Grace was actually a vessel prepared to replace Wesker, who betrayed him as a host or new body for Spencer's mind and will? But he was killed by Wesker in Resident Evil 5 in 2006. It's possible that Grace is Chloe's child, or perhaps even her perfect clone. That's why Victor Gideon refers to Grace as the chosen one. Don't be surprised if Chloe somehow survives Spencer's imprisonment and emerges as the main villain in the next Resident Evil series.
Is that how
I've got her!
The destiny of the virus.
Considering how extensive and deep the Connection's influence is within the American government and even the entire world, Spencer, who had already suspected that the Connections and traitors were surrounding him, had created Elpis long ago, just in case his entire plan failed. That's also the reason Spencer agreed to be interviewed by Alyssa, to give his enemies a hint that Elpis actually existed, without knowing that Elpis was actually an antivirus. Can you imagine if Spencer's plan had succeeded? Spencer would have laughed with satisfaction watching his enemies fall in his new body as Grace. Even if the plan failed, and it had proven to be a failure, he would give custody of Grace to Alyssa. But at least Grace would be safe with a good mother like Alyssa Ashcroft. That way, consistency could be maintained.
What was her name?
Grace.
Grace.
Zeno, the imitation.
Given how long Wesker has been working with the Connections, it would make sense that he would have donated his blood, or unknowingly, for the Connections' experiments to create his clones in secret. And the results we can easily guess. A cool, arrogant, cynical, and superpowered demeanor. Yes, Zeno is nothing more than a clone of someone we all know, Albert Wesker.
You are nothing but an imitation.
The origins of Palehead.
As we already know, the orphanage served as a cover for Umbrella to conduct secret research on young children. Due to the limited supply of children, they attempted to clone them in a secret facility buried beneath Raccoon City, the Ark. This is how the pale-skinned creature, Palehead, was created. What appears in Resident Evil 3, which we've always known to be a random mutation of the T-virus variant, is just a random mutation. What if the red-eyed children in Resident Evil Requiem are an early form of Palehead? Given their pale skin and rapid regeneration rate, this all fits Palehead's characteristics.
Don't come any closer! No, get back! Get back!
Where is Chris anyway?
No idea.
Yes, where is Chris? Actually, if we pay close attention to Leon and Sherry's conversations and carefully read the documents and files, we'll be able to find out Chris's whereabouts easily. Well, according to a file Grace read on one of the computers on the Ark, the BSAA is now under the complete control of the American government. This has caused internal conflict within the already corrupt BSAA. What does under complete control mean? The BSAA is an organization under the UN, and perhaps through the UN, the American government can control the BSAA. The North American branch of the BSAA, which disagreed with this decision, eventually came under pressure from the Pentagon. This is why they are now operating independently, according to Leon and Sherry's conversation. Yep, that's right. It's very likely that Chris and his Hound Wolf squad managed to take over the North American branch of the BSAA, and it's possible we'll be able to play the BSAA in a future DLC with Chris as the operator. Or maybe we could even play Hunk. It would be fun if we could play co-op as a BSAA member. So what do you think? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section.